Today, we're going to journey way back in time to meet one of Mesoamerica's most foundational, yet honestly most mysterious civilizations. These are the incredible architects of the clouds, the Zapotecs. What a name, right? The people of the clouds. That's what the Zapotecs called themselves, the Binena. And it wasn't just some poetic flair. They literally built their entire world high above the valley floor, actually living among the clouds. And they weren't just a flash in the pan. We're talking about a civilization that completely dominated the Oaxaca Valley for over 2 millennia. Think about that. From around 700 BCE all the way to 1521 CE. That's an absolutely incredible legacy of endurance and influence. So, where was the heart of this enduring empire? Well, that brings us to their most breathtaking achievement, a capital city built right on a mountaintop. This is Monte Albán. And the strategic genius here is just mind-blowing. They didn't just build on a mountain, they literally flattened the entire summit to create their city. From up there, they had a commanding view and total defensive control over all 3 of the surrounding valleys. And let's be clear, this wasn't some simple little fort. Monte Albán was a meticulously planned metropolis. It had a grand central plaza, soaring pyramids, ornate palaces, and even its own ball courts. And just about everywhere you looked, there were hundreds of carved stone monuments, each one telling a piece of a story that we're still trying to figure out. The city started around 500 BCE with about 5,000 people, but from that little seed, it grew to become the undisputed regional power for 1,300 years. That kind of stability and success is just incredible to think about. But the Zapotecs didn't just build amazing cities. They were also intellectual pioneers. In fact, they developed one of the very first writing systems in all of Mesoamerica. The earliest clues we have of their script go all the way back to 600 BCE. That means by the time Monte Albán was even founded, writing was already a core part of their culture. And this is what makes them so important. Their script really laid the foundation for the famous writing systems of the Maya, the Mixtec, and the Aztecs who came later. So, how did it work? Their system was something called logo-syllabic. It's a really clever combination where some of their intricate glyphs stood for entire words, like a logo, while others represented the sounds of individual syllables. This was a massive intellectual leap, allowing for complex expression way beyond just simple pictures. Their intellectual toolkit also included this beautifully simple and effective system for math. They used a dot to represent 1 unit and a bar to represent 5. With just those 2 symbols, they could record numbers, dates, and all sorts of important information. And they used that math to become absolute masters of time. The Zapotecs operated with 2 complex calendars at the same time, a 260-day sacred calendar for rituals, and a highly accurate 365-day solar calendar to track the seasons for things like farming. But here's the real paradox. Despite how incredibly important it was, the Zapotec script is still one of history's great puzzles. We can see its influence everywhere, but the vast majority of their inscriptions, well, they're still a mystery to us. Their meanings are basically lost to time. So we're left with this picture of a civilization that is both monumental in its achievements and, at the same time, profoundly mysterious. Their legacy is written in stone, but it's in a language we can no longer fully read. This really captures the whole thing, doesn't it? The Zapotecs provided the intellectual spark for all these future Mesoamerican cultures, yet the specific details of their own history, their beliefs, their stories, they all remain tantalizingly out of reach. Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over. What if we could finally crack the code? What histories, what knowledge, what completely new understanding of the ancient world is just waiting to